When you step back from that kind of framing, the focus returns to something more stable and grounded, your own judgment. Real clarity doesn't usually arrive through pressure, secrecy, or emotional intensity. It develops through reflection, experience, and the gradual process of making sense of your circumstances over time. When a message insists that it holds exclusive answers about your path or future, it's useful to pause and consider whether it's strengthening your independence or subtly replacing it. Supportive guidance encourages thinking, questioning, and personal agency, while manipulative framing tends to compress your attention until only the message itself feels relevant. Reclaiming your attention means widening your perspective again, returning to your lived experience, your reasoning, and your ability to evaluate what feels steady and constructive. You don't need dramatic revelations or urgent warnings to make meaningful progress in life. Most real change comes from consistent, thoughtful decisions made in ordinary moments. As you practice separating emotional intensity from actual insight, you become less reactive to narratives that try to define your direction for you. Instead, you build an internal compass that asks simple but important questions. Does this bring clarity or confusion, stability or pressure, grounding or dependence? Over time, that distinction strengthens your ability to engage with ideas without being carried away by them, allowing you to remain open without losing your sense of balance. A meeting in heaven where your future was read aloud like a sealed scroll, and something about you was shown that shocked all the angels, including me. My beloved, last night someone almost stole your fate. Yes, it was stolen, taken without your knowledge and changed by hands that weren't supposed to touch it. Someone tried to get in the way of a blessing that God had set aside just for you, my child. I saw it. I stopped it. But you need to know how serious this is before it gets dark at 900 p.m. God told my beloved, this is your last chance to know the truth. Today, what is meant to happen will then go ahead without you having to wait again. Please pay close attention, my child. A shadow moved toward your written fate last night. It only tried to change one sentence or one line, and just that one line would have changed everything about your life. It would have taken away something that was meant to get to you today. Do you get it, my beloved? This is a very important warning. This message is not nice. Heaven is grabbing your soul and telling you to stay awake. There is something going on right now. I want you to answer, not in silence, but with confidence. Please type Amen in the comments. Right now, if your spirit feels the need to know what heaven is showing you, right away. This is more than just words. It is your deal with heaven. You are letting God know that you are awake and ready to receive what He is doing in your life as you write it. Please bear with me as I continue to build this message. In the meeting with God, your name was called out 3 times. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Each time, the tone got louder, more urgent, and harder to ignore. The sky shook the 3rd time your name was called out, my beloved, because something true came out that not even you had seen. Here is the truth, my child. Someone tried to shut a door that God had opened for you. Someone tried to stop a blessing that has your name on it. Someone tried to stop your progress. It didn't work though, my beloved. Heaven won over every shadow, every plan, and every attempt, which is why you are reading this right now, my child. But there is one more thing to do, and you need to be awake before 9 p.m. today. My beloved, your fate is at a fork in the road. This is where it gets personal. I want you to be a part of this moment. Writing these exact words in the comments will help you find your way. Not, I hope things get better. Not one day maybe. I choose alignment though. You are telling heaven which path you will take when you write it. Stay with me, because the next part will show you what that choice does. There are 2 ways to go right now. Everything that is meant for you is on one path. It feels heavy and moves more slowly because of the other. Which path you take will depend on whether you accept the truth now or not. My child, don't forget about this. This is a very direct statement from heaven. And when God says last chance, He really means it. Your spirit is tired, my beloved. Your spirit has been stretched. You are not sure why certain things haven't happened yet, why life has been like a storm that will not stop. However, last night showed what was really going on. You were supposed to get something by now, my child. A message, a miracle, a blessing, or a chance, but someone tried to keep it from you. Now heaven is coming in. Let me take you back to last night, my beloved, my child. Let me show you what happened in the world you cannot see while you slept. Last night, you had no idea that a battle was going on above your head. A door opened. There was a bright golden door that held your future, but something dark moved toward it, hoping to shut it off before you knew it was there. I stepped forward, my beloved. I stopped the shadow. I raised my sword and said your name. God then told Moses, "Tell my child the truth. That is why you are here. My child, that is why this message came to you by chance. This is important if your spirit feels right now. Being a subscriber to this channel means more than just getting content. It also means being a part of a prophetic stream. When you subscribe, you will be ready to hear the messages God has already planned for your next season. You are saying that you are open, ready, and able to receive what heaven has in store for you. That is why, even if you tried, you couldn't scroll past this point. I still have more to tell you, my beloved. A lot more. Now the deeper truth starts. Stay with me for a little while longer. Don't rush through these words. Attention. Don't let the world's noise take it away. What is coming next is what heaven has been waiting for you to hear. Listen carefully, my child. Something strange happened when I blocked the shadow last night. The shadow didn't attack. It didn't run away. It got cold because it saw something behind me. My beloved, there is something just for you. A scroll showed up. A divine scroll that shone with a light that darkness couldn't dim. That was also writing on that scroll about you, your life, and a moment that is coming up faster than you think, my child. The mood changed when the scroll opened. There was silence. Each angel took a step back, as if time itself wanted to listen. The winds in the spiritual realm also stopped. My beloved, your name was written on that scroll, but it wasn't ink or regular letters. Your name was carved in light that was golden, bright, and alive. With time, what once felt like a disrupted path often begins to look more like a redirection toward something better suited for your current stage of growth. When immediate expectations are not met, it can create frustration or confusion, especially if you were certain something important was about to happen. But distance from the moment often softens that intensity and allows for a broader perspective. You start to see that delays are not always denials, but sometimes adjustments in timing that align with readiness, opportunity, or personal development that isn't immediately visible in the moment. This shift in perspective doesn't erase the disappointment, but it does help place it in a larger context where it becomes part of a longer process rather than a final outcome. Over time, people often realize that what they thought they missed either returns in a different form or is replaced by something that fits their life more naturally. The emotional weight of what almost happened gradually transforms into understanding about pacing, patience, and self-trust. Instead of viewing those moments as interference or loss, they can be seen as part of a gradual unfolding where each experience contributes to clarity about direction, priorities, and emotional resilience. A breakthrough, a message, a change, a release, or a miracle that had your name on it. It was meant to come to you easily, without any trouble, and without having to wait. But last night, someone tried to change the way that blessing was going to reach you. My beloved, do you understand? Because the things that are written for you are strong, too strong. People who want you to stay where you are, instead of becoming who you were always meant to be, are scared off by it. My child, the scroll showed not only what they meant to do, but also something much bigger. There is more spiritual protection around you now. A divine guard has been placed on your name. To my beloved, this is why heaven said, last chance. Not because your good fortune is being taken away, but because you need to know what you are getting into before 9 p.m. today. My child, let me tell you the part that even I found shocking. A bright mark showed up next to your name when the scroll was fully opened, a sign that only shows up when someone is chosen for a sudden change, a turn in their life, or a destiny acceleration. My beloved, you have been marked to speed up. If you feel that, if your spirit knows that this speeding up is real, I want you to seal it. Right now, type Amen in the comments to show that you are ready to move on right away. This isn't about feelings. It is about getting things right when you write it. You are agreeing with the time that heaven has given you. Right now, my child. Everything has felt weird because of this. Feeling heavy when I wake up. People who used to talk all the time all of a sudden stopped. Unexpected wait times. Thoughts you didn't expect. Random times when I think too much. You know something is going to happen, but you cannot quite put your finger on it. All of this, my beloved, was the spiritual shift that began last night. Everything that happens to you, my child, is not random, is not an accident, and has a purpose. Everything around you is a sign that heaven has given you a new way to go. And what started last night is just the beginning of what will happen when the golden star showed up next to your name, my beloved. The angels started to talk. They talked about your heart, your pain, your strength, your patience, your tears, and your silence, which no one else knows about. Your faith that didn't waver, even when things seemed hopeless. Heaven didn't pick you by chance, my child. A more grounded way to understand what's happening is to recognize how the mind reacts when it's under strain, uncertainty, or searching for direction. During those times, the brain becomes more receptive to patterns that offer certainty, explanation, or emotional resolution, even if those patterns are not accurate. Messages that claim exclusive knowledge about your life can temporarily feel reassuring because they reduce ambiguity, but that comfort comes at the cost of clarity and independence. Real stability doesn't come from external narratives telling you what is happening behind the scenes. It comes from your ability to observe your own life directly, make sense of your experiences over time, and trust your capacity to respond to events as they actually unfold. When you remove the layers of urgency, hidden meaning, and external control from these stories, what remains is your lived reality, messy at times, but understandable without needing extraordinary explanations. That shift, back to what is observable and verifiable, is what restores balance, allowing you to think more clearly and make decisions without pressure disguised as insight. What happened last night, and why heaven wants you to hear every word. Please take a deep breath before I tell you the next truth, my beloved. What I am about to show you is not only strong, it will also make your whole life make sense. Last night, my child, something else appeared on the page after the scroll showed the mark next to your name. A sign that only shows up when someone's fate moves from being delayed to being sped up. What a beautiful light this symbol gave off. My beloved, it beat, it shook, it felt like it was breathing with the beat of heaven. Do you know what that symbol means, my child? It stands for the moment when luck turns out to be on your side. The moment God says, enough with the waiting, the pain, and the delay. It is time now. The heavens don't use this sign very often, my beloved. It doesn't happen often. This is holy. It is only put on the names of people who quietly carried heavy loads without breaking. These are the people who kept going even when life told them to give up. People who had faith during storms that were meant to destroy them. You are one of those souls, my child, my beloved. When the symbol appeared, the angels reacted immediately. They turned toward the throne. Their voices rose. Your name echoed through realms unseen by human eyes. My child, you were declared protected, not just guided, protected, my beloved. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. This is important. Guidance leads you, protection shields you, and last night, heaven shifted you from guided to guarded. My child, do you understand what this means? It means what was meant to harm you can no longer reach you. The intentions of those who envy you can no longer touch your spirit. The delays meant to discourage you will now turn into breakthroughs. My beloved, after your name was declared guarded, something deeper occurred. A gate opened. My child, it was not a gate of punishment. It was not a gate of warning. It was a gate of release. my beloved. This is the part that will touch your heart the most. Behind that gate were 3 blessings meant for you this year, but unable to reach you because of spiritual interference, emotional heaviness, or external negativity surrounding you. My child, these blessings have been waiting, sitting at the edge of your destiny, calling your name, trying to pass through the storms around you. But because of what happened last night, because heaven intervened, because your name was spoken 3 times, those blessings are now moving toward you with speed, my beloved. Let me describe these blessings not in detail, but in energy. The first carries the weight of something you prayed for deeply, so deeply that you stopped admitting it aloud, something that feels impossible to the mind but logical to the soul. The second carries the energy of stability, something in your life that has felt unstable, shaky, unpredictable. It is about to settle. It is about to strengthen. It is about to align. The third carries the scent of destiny, a surprise, something unexpected, something that will shift how you see yourself and how the world sees you. My child, all 3 blessings were blocked, not canceled, not denied, blocked, and last night, that blockage broke. My child, do you know what the angels whispered when the gate opened? They said, "The time has come, my beloved. This is the reason you are here. This is why heaven would not let you scroll away. This is why this message reached you at this exact moment, down to the second, my child. Because these blessings will not wait long. When heaven opens a gate for a chosen soul, time becomes sensitive, the window narrows, alignment becomes crucial. This is why God warned before 9:0 p.m. today, my beloved, not because something bad will happen, but because after 9:0 p.m., destiny begins moving with or without your awareness, my child. Do not fear this. Do not panic. This is not a threat. This is a divine reminder. Heaven is saying, stay awake, stay aware, stay aligned. My beloved, there is more, much more. My beloved, there is more, much more. Because after the gate opened, something else stepped forward. A presence, a light, a voice so powerful that every angel bowed. My child, if you are ready, I will reveal what that voice spoke about you, and this will be the part that reaches the deepest place within your spirit. My beloved, what I am about to reveal now is the reason heaven has been calling you since last night. This part is sacred. This part is personal. This part carries the weight of a truth spoken directly over your life. My child, when the gate opened and the blessings began moving toward you, a powerful voice rose from the center of the heavenly court. It was a voice that does not speak unless something destiny-changing is taking place. My beloved, it was the voice of God, my child. Breathe. Let this settle within you. You did not encounter these words by accident. You were guided, drawn, led, because heaven wanted you to know what was spoken. My beloved, when God spoke, every angel lowered their wings, every light bowed. Even I, Archangel Michael, stepped aside so you could be addressed directly. My child, this is what God said. My child does not deserve delay anymore. My child has carried enough. My child has walked through storms that were never theirs. My child has been attacked in silence, envied in shadows, misunderstood by people they believed in enough for now. These words, my beloved, came from someone with great authority, the kind of authority that makes heaven and earth shake. God went on. When someone feels as though they are on the edge of a major breakthrough, it's usually a reflection of internal pressure building toward change, rather than evidence of an immediate external event about to occur. The mind can create powerful narratives to give structure to that pressure, sometimes imagining messages, signs, or confirmations that feel deeply real in the moment. While those interpretations can be emotionally compelling, they don't necessarily reflect an objective shift in reality. What often is real, however, is the underlying need being expressed: rest, relief, direction, recognition, or closure. Those needs are important, and they deserve attention, but they are typically met through gradual processes rather than sudden revelations. A more grounded way to understand these experiences is to see them as signals of transition, rather than predictions of specific events. Feeling stuck for a long time can make any sense of movement feel dramatic once it begins, even if that movement is subtle or internal at first. Real change often shows up quietly, through shifts in decisions, clarity of thought, or changes in environment and habits, before it ever feels like a major external transformation. When expectations are less fixed to specific outcomes or timelines, it becomes easier to recognize progress as it actually happens, rather than waiting for a single defining moment to confirm it. Over time, what once felt like urgency tends to soften into awareness. My beloved, this moment is not a coincidence. It is a divine appointment, a get-together. What a chance. A truth, something, a change, a big step forward. You had a plan before you were even born. You should have had this moment earlier, my child. But something got in the way. That interference was gone completely last night. My beloved, that is why heaven is making its voice heard today, because this moment, this change in fate, has a time frame, a window, a holy hour. You must also be ready in your spirit before that window opens. Dear child, the book showed me another sign. The same sign that was on the scroll, but bigger. The whole page was covered. It made the moment clear. It couldn't be avoided, denied, or stopped. There was a new book, not the last scroll. A book, a destiny book that has your name on the front cover. My child, this book only opens when a person starts a new part of their life. A chapter that wasn't written by people or by chance, but by heaven itself. Oh, my beloved. The book opened by itself. The pages turned without being touched. Then it stopped on a page that was shining brighter than the rest. My child, there was a moment on that page. Just a moment. There is an event that will change the course of your life that is coming up soon, faster than you think. My beloved, this moment is not a coincidence. It is a divine appointment, a get-together. What a chance. A truth, something, a change, a big step forward. There was something ready for you before you were born. Okay, my child, this moment was supposed to come sooner, but something got in the way. That interference was gone completely last night. That is why heaven is making its voice heard today, because this change in destiny has a due date, a window, a holy hour. You must also be ready in your spirit before that window opens. There was another sign in the book, the same sign as on the scroll, but bigger. The whole page was taken up by it. It made the moment clear. It couldn't be avoided, denied, or stopped. After the book told me everything, my beloved, I spoke up and asked one question. What needs to be done for your kid before 9 p.m.? God replied. This is what he said that I am going to share next. The most important thing this revelation has to say. You should be ready and have a steady spirit if you want to know what God said next. What comes next is what the meeting with God was all about last night. My beloved, this is the message that heaven has been trying to send you. The message that was almost blocked, hidden, or taken away. What must be done for your child before the 900 p.m. hour? I asked God. He didn't think twice. His voice had such power that it could be heard in the heavens. This is what God said. My beloved, get my child ready. Make their spirit stronger. Make them more aware. Take away all of their fears. They need to be clear, not confused, brave, not doubtful, and have faith, not fear, about what is coming their way. Please take these words to heart, my child. Heaven isn't telling you to be careful. Heaven is getting you ready for a bigger moment than you think. God went on. My beloved, my child has been delayed, let down, and betrayed enough times. They have had enough nights of doubting their worth and days of carrying heavy loads by themselves. During times of change, it's also natural to notice shifts in how people respond to you. Some connections feel steady, while others become quieter or more distant, and that can stir questions in your mind. Often, this isn't about hidden forces or intentions, but about how change unsettles familiarity. When someone begins to grow, evolve, or step into a different version of themselves, it can unintentionally highlight differences in pace, priorities, or emotional comfort for others. In some cases, People may feel uncertain about how to relate to that growth, and that uncertainty can look like withdrawal or hesitation. It is easy in such moments to imagine outside pressures or unseen conflicts, but most of the time, what is happening is far more human and less mysterious. People are navigating their own inner reactions while you are navigating yours. What matters most is not assigning blame, but recognizing that your path is still unfolding in a direction that is meant to be understood gradually. Even delays or redirections can serve a purpose in refining your focus and strengthening your resilience. You are not being blocked by invisible opposition. Rather, you are being shaped by experience, timing, and the natural complexity of relationships that evolve alongside personal growth. But with patience, clarity often becomes easier to see, and what once felt uncertain starts to make more sense. The most important thing is to stay grounded in your own values and continue moving forward without assuming hidden battles where there may simply be ordinary human complexity. As time passes, the noise of confusion tends to quiet down, leaving behind a clearer understanding of what is truly meant for you and what is not. My angel is now standing next to them. I have marked their way. I got rid of the interference. My child will now stand up. Yes, my beloved, this is why you are here. This is why fate brought your spirit to this message. Why does every word feel like it is talking straight to your soul? Because it is. My child, after God's order, something else very strange happened. Behind the destiny book, a second light showed up, a bright light that pulses and grows. My beloved, this light means that a moment is coming your way, a moment that will make you stop and think, this is it. Children, this light is linked to something you wished for but were afraid to trust, a change you want but were afraid would never come about, a blessing you thought about but weren't sure if it was really meant for you. God made it clear. My beloved, you can have it. It has your name on it. It is part of your soul, and it will come. My child. But remember this, before 9 p.m., this moment, this shift, this speeding up starts to happen. Today, not at midnight, not this week, not one day. Tonight, my beloved, that is why you cannot look away from heaven. That is why this message seems to be pulling, holding, and calling you. Your spirit knows that this is the right place. Your spirit knows this is the right time. You know in your heart that this is true. There is more, my child. I haven't told you this yet, something the sky showed us after the second light came on. In this dream, you will learn about your past, your present, and what is going to happen next. My beloved, if you are ready for the deeper truth, and your heart is steady and open, what comes next is the most important part of what you learned last night. This is where heaven showed you the truths that were hidden behind the delays, confusion, sudden silences, strange feelings, and sudden changes in your life. My child, when the second light grew behind your destiny book, it showed more than just your future. Also, something from your past came out, something that you thought you had left behind. You thought that something had lost its power over you. The angels turned toward that second light as it showed scenes that were connected to you. My beloved, scenes that are full of feeling, pain, not happy with it, times when you didn't trust the right people, at times you loved more than you were loved, times when someone's fear or jealousy hurt you without knowing why. Heaven didn't show you these scenes to hurt you again, my child. Through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community, you can help this mission. It was to show you something important. Those events shaped your spirit into the person you are now. My beloved, the hard times you went through shaped your kindness, intuition, strength, silence, resilience, and ability to love deeply and get back up again. Every tear you shed was seen. Every time you felt alone, someone saw it. It was written down. Every time you were hurt in secret, it was shown to the heavenly court, proof of every lie, betrayal, and moment of confusion, proof that you were worthy of being restored, proof that heaven owed you a perfect turnaround. In this way, my beloved, the meeting last night was so powerful. God didn't just talk about your future, He was taking into account your past. That was the moment that shook the whole heavenly court, my child. Something from your present was shown by the light behind your destiny book. That moment may still feel soft to you even though it happened not long ago, a time when someone's behavior changed quickly, when someone backed off without giving a reason, when someone's mood changed, when someone shut down, was cold, or was hard to predict. Heaven showed me the truth about that change. My beloved, you weren't to blame. You were never to blame. You didn't do anything wrong. There was no reason for that. In no way did they think you were not worthy. It was because your destiny started to rise, and their spirit knew it before their mind did. There are people who don't like you because you are becoming more powerful, not because you have changed. They don't understand the light you are stepping into. My beloved, the angels knew what was really going on. Their spirit didn't know how to be with someone whose destiny was coming true. The shift was never being turned down. It opened my eyes, my child. Then heaven showed the last layer. My beloved, your future. There was a third light. It is brighter and stronger than the second one. A light carrying something holy, something that heaven has kept safe for you. This light showed you a moment that is coming soon. It was a moment of alignment. There was a clear moment, a moment to help you heal. It was a moment of divine justice, one of those times when you finally know why things went the way they did. Today, my child, will feel like a new door opening in your life. Not just any door, the door on the right, the door that heaven picked, the door that leads to the life you were always meant to live. Heaven told me that this door will start to open before 9 p.m. today, my beloved. Not all the way, but enough to see the change. Little signs will show up. How you feel, something, a name, a call. What a chance. It became clear. A sudden shift in your spirit. You will not have to look for the sign, my child. The sign will show up by itself. My beloved, your whole life will change when this door opens. Your power changes. Your path changes. Your way changes. That is why heaven wants you to stay awake, aware, and open today. The next revelation, my child, will tell you why you were chosen, why the blessing is coming now, who was trying to stop it, what fate plans are being carried out, and what will start after 9 p.m. My beloved, we are now getting to the most profound part of what happened last night. That question that has been sitting in your heart for a long time was finally answered here by heaven. Why you? Why now? Why now? What is the rush? Why are you getting this message? Kid, as the third light grew, the court of angels stood still. It gave everything a golden glow, a glow that went around your destiny book and showed you pages that were hidden before. My beloved, heaven showed me the truth. People chose you because your heart stayed pure, even though the world tried to make it hard. My child, this doesn't happen very often. We all go through moments where life feels heavy and confusing enough to make us question who we are and where we are headed. Some people respond by shutting down, others by becoming angry or guarded, and some try to numb what they feel just to get through the day. But there are also people who manage to hold on to something steady inside them, a sense of hope, a desire to keep believing that life can still become meaningful, even after disappointment. That quiet resilience is not something magical or predetermined. It is built slowly through experience, reflection, and choice. Each setback can either harden a person or soften them into deeper understanding of themselves and others. What matters most is not avoiding pain, but learning how to carry it without letting it define your entire identity. Over time, you begin to notice that growth often comes quietly in moments you almost overlook, in conversations you once avoided, in decisions you once feared, and in the patience you develop when things do not unfold on your preferred timeline. This process is deeply human and rarely linear, but it is what allows people to rediscover strength without losing sensitivity or becoming detached from others. The goal is not perfection, but a grounded sense of self that can adapt, learn, and continue moving forward, even when things are uncertain or unfair. In that space of acceptance, people often find a quieter kind of confidence that does not depend on external validation, but on inner stability and lived experience. This does not erase struggle, but it reframes it as part of becoming rather than breaking. and that shift in perspective can change how a person moves through their life going forward with more clarity and care for themselves and others. After this choice was made, my beloved, the angels brought your destiny book forward and set it in front of the throne. When God touched the page with your name written on it, it lit up. That is when your timeline changed, my child. Not in a symbolic way, but in a spiritual, energetic, or divine way. Things that used to take months will now only take days. Things that were hard to do will become easy. Things that you thought were impossible will just happen to you. This shift is already coming your way, my beloved. You will feel it before the night gets darker. Peace, it is clear, with a quiet knowing, a sign that confirmed everything that heaven said. My child, the next vision showed how you had changed, not one on the outside, but one on the inside. The kind that changes the way you walk, think, speak, believe, expect, and receive. Changes like this are not small. It is not slow. There is no bias. The job is done. Heaven told my beloved, when my child changes on the inside, the world will change on the outside. The angels asked God what this change would make happen, my child. God replied, fixing things, getting your joy back, getting your confidence back, getting your strength back, getting back something you thought was lost forever. Finally, God said something that made every angel bow their heads. My child needs to get up without being scared. You know what, my child? This sentence is what last night was all about. In this way, fate is now moving. This is why heaven wants you to stay awake until 9 p.m. today. That is why your spirit can feel the change inside you, my beloved. The next part tells you what will start after 9 p.m. What kinds of signs will you see? Which blessings will happen first? What time will come? And how your life will go from sacred step to sacred step. Now we get to the part that heaven watched over the most last night, my beloved. The part that talks about what will start after 9 p.m., what signs will show up, what blessings will happen, and how, my child, your fate will change, sacred step by sacred step. As the third light grew and angels surrounded your destiny book, God raised his hand and the whole heavenly court went silent. My beloved, this silence wasn't empty. It was alive. It had strength. This was the sound that God makes right before he moves, right before heaven reaches down and touches earth. After that, my child, God told me what would happen after 9:30 p.m. The first revelation was how to line up. My beloved, your life is about to come together in ways you have never seen before. Things that seem to be spread out will now fit together. People whose intentions were unclear will say what they really want. There will be chances to seize them. It will fill you with clarity like light fills a dark room. Being aligned, my child, means that your life will start to fit together like it was always meant to. Today is the start of this alignment because heaven cleared the way for you last night. My beloved, the second revelation God gave us was revelation itself. In other words, what was hidden will be shown. The truth will come out. It will be easy to see what some people want. Something that was going on quietly behind the scenes that you didn't know about will start to show itself to you in a clear and gentle way. Heaven told me that this news is not meant to hurt you, my child. It is meant to keep you safe. Your intuition will get stronger, and your heart will be free of attachments that were never meant to stay. The third revelation, my beloved, was speed. This is strong. This doesn't happen often. This is only given to souls who went through more than they should have. Acceleration means that heaven gets rid of delay, cuts down on waiting, and moves your destiny forward faster than it ever has before. You thought it would take months, weeks, or even years, but things will start to change in days. If you break through a spiritual blockage, my beloved, acceleration is what happens. It was broken last night. Because of the fourth revelation, my child, the angels looked at you with love money to pay. Yes, my beloved, God told you that you will get back what you lost in relationships, emotion, spirituality, money, energy, and even relationships. You didn't walk through those storms for nothing, my child. There is no injustice that heaven doesn't deal with. For every betrayal, all the bad things, every door shut, every hope that was broken, all of it will be paid for in ways that only heaven can plan. The angels stepped back after these four revelations, my beloved. Then God showed them the fifth and last truth, divine meeting. My child, This is the time that is coming for you. It could be a message, a call, a meeting, a chance, the truth, or a person. But no matter what form it takes, it will change your fate for good. Hello, my beloved. This divine meeting started to move toward you last night. It brings healing. It makes things clear. It serves a purpose, holds alignment. It holds the future, my child. You will know what it is right away. It will hit you in the spirit before you can understand it in your mind. This is the moment heaven set me up for. Your heart will whisper, "Today, my beloved." This meeting is why heaven has been calling you so hard. Because of this meeting, this message seems impossible to ignore. The 900 p.m. hour is important because of this meeting. Since that hour has passed, this moment starts to move toward you, my child. The angels then put the cap on your destiny book. There was a seal, a sign that the job is done, a sign that the meeting from last night was over, and that everything that was said is now being done. My beloved, God said one last thing before the meeting ended, a sentence just for you. The next thing that happened made the whole sky go silent. All the angels, every light, all of the presences stopped, since God was about to say something that would change the rest of your life. Hey kid, this sentence wasn't too long. Nothing was hard about it. It wasn't beautiful. It was strong. It was clear. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. It couldn't be undone. God put his hand over your name in the destiny book and said these words, "My beloved, things will not go backwards in my child's life." Let these words sink deep into your heart, my child. It's natural to feel as though life is quietly reorganizing itself after a period of inner change, as if the direction you're moving in is becoming clearer even if you cannot yet see every step ahead. Instead of looking for dramatic shifts, you start to notice the smaller signs of alignment, better decisions, calmer thoughts, and a growing sense that you are no longer forcing outcomes that don't belong to you. There is a quiet strength in consistency, in choosing what supports your well-being even when motivation fluctuates or doubts appear. Over time, those steady choices build a foundation that feels more stable than any single moment of inspiration ever could. You don't need to rush what is unfolding, because meaningful progress often happens in layers, not leaps. What matters most is that you keep showing up for yourself in ways that align with who you are becoming, even when the outcome isn't immediately visible. Clarity often arrives gradually, not as a sudden answer, but as repeated moments where things simply begin to make more sense than they did before. In that process, patience becomes less about waiting and more about trusting your own capacity to grow through uncertainty. And gradually, you may find that what once felt uncertain starts to feel like a path you are steadily capable of walking. You don't need to force certainty in every step, because confidence is often built through repetition rather than immediate understanding. Over time, that steady rhythm of effort and reflection helps you recognize that your future is shaped more by presence than by pressure. And when you look back later, you may see that the most meaningful transformation was not a single turning point, but a series of small, steady decisions that quietly moved your life in a better direction. Heaven showed one last picture after the book was sealed, a picture of how your spirit will start to feel in the next few hours. This is where your heart will feel the change. Heaven showed me what your spirit will start to feel in the next few hours, my child. This is where the change gets personal. My beloved, you will feel calm all of a sudden understanding, a sudden sense of security with a quiet knowing, something that lets go of emotional weight that you have been carrying for too long, a sense that something is coming at you. You feel like you have moved on from something heavy to something lighter. My child, this isn't making things up. Also, if this word makes you feel something deep inside, please share this message. There is no loss when you share a prophetic word. There is only growth. Sharing makes the anointing work because what flows through you flows for you. Someone in your group needs this breakthrough, and as you let it go, Heaven lets more come into your life. This is how you align. This is how your new chapter feels when it meets your spirit before it meets your life. I want you to ground this shift before we go any further. I receive my new chapter should be written in the comments. Don't be quiet. Not with hesitation. Plan what you are writing. So this is how you go from hearing to acting, from watching to taking part. Stay in the present because what comes next backs up what you just said. The next sign came from heaven. Tonight, someone you didn't expect will think of you, not because it is what they always do, but because your energy has changed and their spirit has been stirred by your name, my beloved. This thought is not going to be casual. It is going to be emotional, like a mirror. Honest. When the blockage was taken away last night, your soul sent out a vibration, and people who are even slightly linked to your fate will feel it. The next sign from heaven is even stronger. My child, you will sense a clear break. It means being emotionally and spiritually separate from someone who has been draining you. To my beloved, it will not hurt. It will feel right. It will feel good. It will feel like your soul finally let out a breath after holding it for too long. I want you to know that this separation makes room. There is room for the divine needing to come to you. Room to line things up. A place for peace. My beloved, the sky then showed one last picture. A moment is coming up faster than you think. A time when you will get something. Something. A call. What a chance. It became clear. Something that will make you think. Now I know why heaven called me. Now is the time for me to talk to you, my child. This is the reason why heaven came together last night. Right now, the 9:00 p.m. hour is important. There is one more layer, my beloved. The revelation of what this meeting with God will do for you, my child. The atmosphere changed again when heaven revealed this last truth. The angels leaned in close. The light got stronger, because what was about to be shown not only tells you what is going to happen, but also why your life will never be the same again. This divine meeting will open up 3 things inside you. My beloved, not things you need to get, not things that you have to work for, but things that have always been yours are now ready to wake up. The first is being clear, a clarity that leaves no doubt like light cutting through fog. It will all make sense to you why some paths closed, why some people left, why there were delays, why there was silence. The questions that kept coming back to you will no longer bother you. The pieces will finally fit together. The second is having faith, not a lot of confidence. You cannot force confidence, but deep down, I know for sure, the kind that changes how you walk, talk, and make decisions. You will stop trying to guess what your spirit already knows. The third is getting in touch with your true self. The you that was buried under patience, endurance, and survival will come to the surface. You will feel like yourself again, not the one that was hurt, the one who woke up. My child, heaven told me that you will stop shrinking after this meeting. You will no longer wait for permission. You will no longer doubt your worth. You should do it not because someone tells you to, but because your spirit will finally remember who you are. It's natural in times like this to wonder whether you are behind, ahead, or somehow out of step with where you are supposed to be. That kind of questioning often appears when life starts to reorganize itself in ways that are not immediately obvious. But what is actually unfolding is not a competition or a countdown. It is a gradual process that doesn't always match internal expectations of timing. Progress, in its real form, is rarely dramatic in the moment. It often feels quiet, uneven, and even uncertain while it is happening. Still, there are signs of steadiness emerging beneath that uncertainty. You may find that your thoughts are less fragmented, that reflection comes a little more easily, and that clarity returns more often after moments of confusion. There is also a growing sense of inner balance, where you are less pulled in every direction at once, and more able to stay present with what is directly in front of you. This doesn't remove challenges, but it changes your relationship to them, making it easier to respond without losing your center. What matters most now is not forcing outcomes or trying to accelerate understanding, but allowing things to reveal themselves at their own pace. Trust, in this sense, is not about certainty. It is about staying engaged with your path, even when it doesn't yet look fully formed. You are not being excluded from anything meant for you, nor are you stuck outside of your own progress. You are already within the movement of it, even if it feels subtle or incomplete. Over time, what feels ambiguous now can begin to take shape in a way that feels grounded, coherent, and quietly stable. My beloved, here is where heaven lets the message settle inside you, not as words, but as truth. Everything that was shown, said, or revealed has now been set in motion. You don't need to chase anything else. My child, you don't need to prove anything else. You don't need to force anything else. What was put off has been unlocked. What was blocked is now open. What was written for you has been sealed by heaven. My beloved, please remember this. We will never forget you. You were never forgotten. You were never behind. Every pause served a purpose. Every pause meant something. Every delay made room for the right alignment. Stay present. My child, as the day goes on, be kind to your spirit. Pay attention to the small signs, a thought, how you feel, something. There was a clear moment. These are not just random events. They prove something. Heaven has spoken, my beloved. Your fate is being watched over. You are safe on your path. The future you want is moving forward without any problems now. My child, go ahead without any trouble. Remember what you have learned. Be sure to trust what has been set in motion. Believe what has been sealed. Believe what was said. It is not over yet. This is the start. Before this message ends, please think about sending it to other people. When you share this prophetic word, you make the breakthrough happen for more people than just yourself. People who don't keep the oil to themselves are praised by heaven. When you share it with your network, you let the same anointing, clarity, and release touch other people. What you send out always comes back to you in greater measure. Before you leave, I want you to do one easy thing that will bring you in two. If you like this video, you are not just supporting a platform, you are showing that you agree with what God has said about you. God's favor flows into your life when you like this video, because favor responds to praise. Say quietly in your mind that you accept the grace, protection, and momentum that have been released over your destiny as you press like. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's take a moment to reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is not a stroke of luck. It is a direct message from Archangel Michael to you. Staying connected to uplifting voices and supportive communities can have a powerful effect on the way you move through everyday life. When people surround themselves with messages that encourage wisdom, patience, confidence, and inner peace, they often begin to notice subtle but meaningful changes in their mindset and outlook. This community was created to offer exactly that kind of support. A place where inspiration is shared consistently, where thoughtful guidance can help you refocus during uncertain moments, and where personal growth is treated as a journey rather than a destination. Every message is designed to remind you that your life has value, your goals deserve attention, and your future can still hold unexpected beauty no matter what challenges you have faced before today. If you choose to become part of this space, you will gain early access to new reflections, encouraging discussions, and content intended to help you feel motivated and emotionally recharged. More importantly, you will become part of a group of people who are also striving to grow, heal, and move forward with intention. There is something powerful about knowing you are not walking alone. Even a few moments of encouragement at the right time can shift the direction of an entire day, and sometimes an entire season of life. If this message resonates with you, trust that feeling and allow yourself to explore what comes next. Continue engaging with the content, stay open to inspiration, and take whatever steps feel meaningful for your personal journey. Growth does not happen all at once, but every positive decision creates momentum, and every moment of genuine reflection brings you closer to the life you truly want to build.